Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, welcome to React and Chill, where you get to come and react and chill with me as I watch movies, TV shows and anime. I also do trailer reactions. Now, last time on Fruits Basket, oh my goodness, it was just, no, it wasn't sadness, it was just so emotionally, I was so emotionally exhausted after that episode. I mean, wicked episode first and foremost, obviously. The remaining Sohma family, the remaining zodiac members of the Sohma family are finally free now. They all had broken out from the curse. This was obviously after, not necessarily after, but when Kyo finally came to the conclusion that, you know what, I'm ready to love Toru. Toru's really ready to love me, even after everything he chucked at her. And they're, ready to move on in that capacity. The curse went on and broke. Just thinking about it is making me feel quite emotional. It was such a good episode, and obviously we also saw the backstory of the original banquet, the first banquet of the deity of God, and the original zodiac members, so the first zodiac animals, which was really, really, really good. I did, in terms of my thoughts on why I think the zodiac, at this particular point in time, why the zodiac curse had broken, I did do an extra video, an analysis video, which I will tag here somewhere, which I go on to comment on what my thoughts were. I forgot to mention it in my last video because I was all up in my feels, and I don't want to mention it up onto this video because it would have just made this super long. So now, apart from the prior 3 Sohma family members, Hiru, Momoji and Kureno, who had already broken from the curse, everyone else is now finally free. And the other thing I'd also noticed at that moment, what I realized was that Akito, she knew the bonds were slipping, but she was ready to let go. She was finally ready, and it was amazing considering how I think it played 2 ways. That the bonds were not only a constraint on the family members, it was also a constraint on her to be able to move past that, move forward, hopefully be able to make bonds without, not essentially them being superficial, but for them to have been passed on, for them to have been in this capacity where she was tied to the, she wanted to just move forward as her own independent person. So that was, again, my feelings about Akito had gone from here to like there by last week. So I'm incredibly excited to see where she goes. And obviously Toru, being the adorable, amazing, sweet Toru she is, when her and when her and Kyo came to visit Kazuma, she had also realized that all their curse had broken. And you know what? The first person she also thought of after that was to go visit Akito. To know that everything is broken. This was what she feared the most, and she wanted to be with Akito in that moment. So that was incredibly sweet, just to show what sort of person Toru is. Adorable. Anyway, the only person we didn't see was Yuki, because obviously at this point he was on his way to see Machi, when she called him to meet him outside the station. So I'm really excited to see Yuki's breaking of the curse, when he finally is released from the curse, because a couple of episodes ago he was ready to tell Machi about himself, about that. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. And I mean it's sad to say that this is the penultimate episode of the entire series, which is so sad. I could only imagine what the manga readers are feeling at this point. So so now let's get into it. Episode 12. Not gonna cry.
Will ever be someone who cares enough to search for us. You called. I'm so glad.
I'm sorry it was so sudden. Like I said, there's something I wanted to give you. It's a get well present for Honda Senpai.
Oh.
You saw me when I couldn't even see myself, and that made me so happy.
Thank you for finding me.
He's gonna feel it now. is become aware.
Hold on. What is this? To tell you. You're the last one. Just you now.
Oh,
You kept the promise for so long. It's time to go now. But thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. I'm sorry for crying like this. Just, I said goodbye to someone I've been with my whole life. I have my freedom.
yes!
I said I wanted to tell you something. This wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
Well,
Look at these random.
actually, Yuki.
Okay, so. Yes, that's me in the back.
Yuki, have you seen Shigure? Huh? Isn't he here? He hasn't been home all day. Yo.
Yo.
So.
Jeez, what is up with you?
Shameful. You cheater.
What? But it's like it always has been, right? Of course it is. I'll love you forever. Careful.
What's up? Akito's not even here yet?
Says the man who's late himself. Now then, where have you been wandering, Kyonkichi?
Oh. They say, of course, the younger ones don't know Akito's really a woman.
Akito, can it be? Have you adopted my dressing habits?
No, I haven't.
Consider it a parting gift.
I hate you!
It's also a welcome gift for the new you. I look forward to seeing how you live a life you've chosen for yourself.
You're free. All of you. I should have said this sooner.
If you're going to reject me, then do it now. If you think it through and decide to come to me once more, know what to expect.
Oh my god.
Saturate his entire being with my own. Fill every corner of him with my scent. I tried to apologize, but I couldn't. Any words I said would have been hollow, like I was asking for absolution. But I have to stay. After all, I'm the family head.
So then, I've been waiting a long, long time for you to come back to me. You're late, you know. I love you forever. As long as you want me to.
I'm so glad they finally sorted their shit out.
I want to leave here.
What?
Not like that. I mean, I'm not trying to run away or anything. Disengaging from the world. I sort of got a free pass to do that, given how things were. And, I'm hoping you'll come to a dojo run by someone Master knows. It makes sense because I can train and work at the same time. I want to find out who the real me is.
Yes. I want you to find the real Kyo too. He was happy. And I am too. So yes, when you leave here, Kyo, I'll come. You're wrong about Mom holding a grudge against you.
Yes.
Yes, leaving everyone here will make me sad. If I were apart from you, that would be much harder. I belong with you.
Yes.
Please take me with you.
Yes. I feel like I'm being proposed to her.
She's coming. You good with that?
So cute.
I'll protect her. My whole life.
I think I'm gonna die. What do I do? Sorry. I'm sorry, daughter. Did I love you enough? Sweetheart. Protect her. Someone. To keep our old promise, or
I won't forgive you.
I won't forgive you. Do what I can't. Protect my baby girl.
Oh my god.
Live so that when it's your time to go, people will say, you fought well.
Is that her husband?
You fought well.
Oh my goodness. That monologue at the end was... So that was... You don't understand how badly I was holding back the tears. That monologue at the end that Kyoka did, and I assumed that was the case. It was like, I won't forgive you if you don't keep your promise. Like Kyo said, he was always going to protect Toru. She was only able to get the last bit out. Oh my goodness. But another great episode. Fantastic episode. Obviously we got what happened with Yuki, that he was the last zodiac animal. He was the last one that was always coming back. And he was finally free. He was finally able to now move forward with Machi, which is epic, epic, epic. My reaction was just like those women in the in the street. Wow. And then everyone was gathered at the Sohma estate, and obviously this was the first time Kyo was even at the Sohma estate. I was saying right before that scene that Shigure better step up, because him and his dog-like self, he gave Akito that beautiful kimono for her to live her true self. And yes, everyone's reactions, obviously apart from Ayame, Hattori, they knew that she was really a woman. And even Ritsu was like, oh, are you like me? She was like, no, this is who I really am. They were all shocked. And she was basically saying, I'm going to start living my real self, my true self. And I did like that Shigure gave her that as a goodbye to the old Akito. She can now move forward and live as the new Akito. Even though she lived as that Akito, not necessarily hiding her femininity because of her father. Her father, yes, definitely said that you are loved, you'll always be loved, but I think it was more of her toxic mother's involvement in her living like the Akito she did live like. Yes, just going back to Yuki for a second. He said it perfectly when he said, which I assumed it was, they were always crying because they remember them as their original animal spirits were saying goodbye. Every time the bond broke, they were saying goodbye to God. And he said it perfectly there. He was saying goodbye to somebody who's been with him his whole life. That's why it hurt. That's why they felt a sense of like losing a bond. And when they're all back at the estate, they were worried that would they be fine, like, because they don't have that bond keeping them all together. Will they be okay? Will they be able to get on? Which they did just fine. And I think it's being able to move forward now, the new normal, not having this bond. And even Akito even said, well, going back to now, that conversation, I'm glad her and Shigure finally got together. He was like, I've always been waiting for you. And he basically said, this is your decision. You can be with me. You know what I'm like. But she still wanted him, regardless of everything. She still wanted to be with Shigure. And she said that I'm going to stay here. I don't think she was expecting any of the kids, anyone to be staying at the estate, but she said she'll carry on living here because of she's the head of the family. But he said it perfectly well when he said that's fine. I guess that's what I'll be doing as well, And he was able to look at her how he's always wanted to look at her beautiful self, and I'm so happy for that. So I'm glad that Akito and Shigure at least got somewhat of a happy ending as well. Then there was that bit where Kyo now wants to move forward. He hit the nail on the head there. He was the way he used to act, the way he used to keep his distance because of what he knew what his fate was going to be. So now that's not the case no more. He wants to be able to move forward. He wants to be able to go out into the world, actually live his life, actually have a life. So I like that little scene, which I don't know if it was like a foretelling of the future, where Toru was climbing up and she had a band on her finger, wedding finger, and you see a Kyo So he basically said that I want to move forward and I want to leave and start a life. And she was like, take me with you. I'm now with you. I would be sad leaving everyone, but I think I'll be worse off if you're not with me. So that was really sweet. And I loved how he was like, you know, you're happy now, I've kept my promise, as they were standing in front of Kyoka's grave. You know, I've kept my promise to stay with Toru. And then obviously that bit at the end, which, we saw the final moments of what Kyoka was thinking when she was hit. And obviously the last thing she was thinking about was Toru. Who's going to stay with Toru? Who's going to love Toru? You know, she was in such a frenzy and she was in this turmoil. But then she saw Kyo and remembering the promise he had that he'd always be there for her. And she was like, you know, you have to protect her. You need to go to her. She just needed somebody. And when she saw him, she was able to remember that in that moment. Like, please protect and stay with my baby girl. But wow. And obviously, at the end, when she finally passed over, she was able to meet with her husband again, Katsuya. You know, she was saying Toru has to keep fighting. Fight, right to the end. And he even said to her when he'd met her in the afterlife that, you know, you did your fighting and you fought right to the end. So that was really sweet. This is such a good episode. It always got me right at the end with Kyoka's monologue about her leaving her daughter, and I had to really hold back because that was severe. But no, it was good. Thank you so much. And as always, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.